So, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
It's our
Thanks
pleasure.
for coming.
Yeah,
Our
sure.
Pleasure.
So the film Divergent takes place in a dystopic post-apocalyptic society in which the population is split up into 5 factions based on their personality. It's not necessarily a realistic notion in our society, but why do you think it resonates so much with the readers of the novel Divergent and now with audiences?
I mean, I think part of it is like, it's definitely rooted in something, that's very real to us. And there is a grounding in this world in terms of, some of the parallels that get drawn. We are not societally divided by our personalities, but we're societally divided by beliefs and morals and ethics and religion and all kinds of stuff.
Socioeconomics.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
And but there has to be an element of fantasy to it for people, you know what I mean, to be able to escape, and that's part of the whole movie experience, right? Some kind of escapism into that. But it's always interesting to root something in this world, but then heighten it so that it's something that people can actually be entertained by and enjoy, and it's thrilling.
Right.
But it's not too serious in that, like you said, it's not totally realistic in this world, but thank God, I don't know if I want to sit there and, and realize the reality of our decisions in that moment being life or death,
Yeah.
So.
Wonderful. So you, Maggie, have pretty extensive training in martial arts and action. Were you part of the combat on set, or were you just kind of wishing you were fighting?
I wasn't. I was not part, and I wasn't wishing I was fighting. It was the first time. Although, behind closed doors, I was very, I knew the coordinators. I know all the action people in Hollywood very well. And, I sat down with them, and I was like, what are you planning? What are you doing? What are you doing? And they showed me all their pre-vises, and pre-visual is something they do, stunt people perform just to get approval on fights and stuff for movies. But I was a little bit hard on them. I wanted to know what they were doing with the kids. That's what we called them, because they are.
They are.
Young little babies.
And they didn't have stunt people they were fighting?
No, everyone has a stunt person.
Oh,
That's
okay.
People always ask that. They're always like, but you don't have a stunt person. I do all my own stunts, and I have a stunt person, because stunt people rehearse for you, they safety for you, and they design stuff. So you have to have them. You also have to have them for insurance. If anything happened to you on set, you need somebody to jump in. But they're not necessarily there to do your job, but they are always there. And I just kind of wanted to know what they were doing and kind of make sure that it was good. But for the next one, if we have more fighting, I think I'm going to have a little more to say with who they bring on for the coordinating, because I know who the best of the best are.
Right. I know you do, Maggie.
I think that fake combat is so cool.
It is so cool, and it actually is. It's really hard.
Yeah,
it is. It's a lot of work
to stay safe.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So you play kind of like a wise tattoo artist.
Yeah, very, very wise.
Do you have tattoos in real life? Do you like giving advice in real life?
We both do.
Yeah.
That's so funny that you said those two things. I do like both those things. I love tattoos. I have a bunch, and I do like giving advice. Only on things I know, though. I'm not a person who, advises.
Right, you're not pretentious.
No, exactly. I don't advise in areas that
So you're both actors, and you both have tattoos. Has that ever gotten in the way of roles?
Sometimes you got to put on makeup, depending on what it is. I have a tattoo of Harlem on my arm, so from Chicago, that don't make sense. So you need you put a little makeup on it, and then just keep it moving. They're really good with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I haven't had to cover anything yet for some reason. It's all these badass roles.
Yeah, so
it's all
they
these
want you to have
keep your tattoos, which is great.
Yeah, I love tattoos.
Yeah, I know. It's a problem.
So Mehki, you've been involved in a wide variety of projects from ER to 8 Mile. What attracted you to this new emerging genre of young adult action?
Well, it's I think as actors, we always strive to do different things and to remain relevant and intrigued by what it is that we do. And doing something like this, I've never done anything like this. So that's what always keeps it fresh and keeps you on your toes and keeps you guessing. So I was very happy to be a part of.
Was there anything particularly challenging or fun in this project?
Well, a lot of it was fun. Challenging, not so much
yet,
at least in this installment. But I just had a good time with it. I enjoy being Max. I can't wait to see where they take him.
So we can expect a sequel.
You can expect that if we do what
Wonderful.
we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my last question is, you both played a character in the Dauntless faction. Do you think you would be in that faction in real life?
We talk about this all the time. We
do.
both feel
Privately,
that.
we call each other and
We call each other and say, synchronize our answers. No, but I think in reality, I would probably be Divergent, because I think Dauntless is one aspect. You got candor, you got all these other abnegation. So I think that I would have a multitude of personality.
And isn't that the point of the movie? Everyone's divergent.
Really, and what's so weird is that everybody wants that, but that's what they fear.
Right.
You know, they fear being all things. You know, that's a threat to the leaders of the world in which they live in here. And that's deep in terms of like control and how control is manufactured in this world. So the parallels are definitely there.